Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Hope you're all doing well. First of all, a bit of a serious thing. Richard Hill started the United Stand with us about 18 months ago. He messaged me earlier, said a friend of his son, Tyler, 13, he's not very well at the moment. He's suffering with cancer, and he said, could we give him a shout out because it's his birthday, 13 years of age. Tyler, all the best from the United Stand. Everybody's watching as well. I hope you get better soon, mate. And let's keep an eye out for Tyler. And when you're better, come on the show. So big shout out for Tyler there. We're going to talk about football in a moment, but obviously things are going on in the world. I'm not going to be one of those people who tweets out things just to get retweets. What I would say is there's, in relation to what I've just said, what's happened last night, there's a lot of evil in this world, but the reality is that it's there. It's what we do as good people that counts. You've just got to keep on walking that good path, and don't be afraid, because if you're afraid, they win, and we stand together, and that's what I'm going to say about that. Right, on with the football. Paul Pogba, I know we're all getting a bit frustrated with it. Some people are even getting tired of it. Yeah, I'm really going to get tired of the potential of signing, breaking the world transfer record, because that happens every year, doesn't it, Manchester United? It's massive if it actually happens. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk it in a general sense. I'm going to take some of your comments as well. There's a couple of other things to talk about in relation to United's game tomorrow. Really excited about that. First watch along of the season. I can't believe it. And at the very end, because it's the Friday show, if you're watching it Friday night, we do a little bit of a Q&A where we'll take some of your questions at the end. Spencer Russell. Right, Paul Pogba, where did the week start? Well, the week started with a negative, really. I think it was Monday. Raiola, his agent, there was some indication that he might stay. He might stay at Juventus after last weekend, where I think, and the week before, everyone was saying it was going to happen to United. Then the next day, there was a bit more clarity about that, where it was like he might stay at Juventus, but in relation to Manchester United or a move elsewhere, who knows? Let's wait and see. We then had, around the middle of the week, Pogba in LA. He was asked about it. He said, Manchester United, my first family. And if Jose Mourinho contacts me, we'll have to see. I just remembered something else. Pogba, his agent said the day before that if Mourinho came to Pogba with a project that he was interested in, then he probably would be interested in it. And there was that mention about how he tried to get him to move to Chelsea last summer, and it was Mourinho who went for him. Yesterday, and we also had the old chef saying he's coming to Manchester United as well, didn't we? And then it's developed further, and at the moment, where are we at with it? We're still getting the we'll see what happens. And obviously, it was the last night's show, Juventus making moves in the market themselves, offering a lot of money for Higuain, and some are saying, well, Juventus can't really afford that. A lot of people are saying they can, it makes no difference. I don't know what you think as United fans and any other fan watching the show, but I think there's a lot of bitterness with some Manchester United fans towards this deal. It's like anything you say, they jump on it straight away. And I don't know if that's because of the negativity we've had around the club for the last 2 years. But if you produced a gold bar, they'd say it was shit wrapped in gold paper. I mean, it really is ridiculous. I've never seen Juventus go out and spend £70 million on a player. And if they are going out to spend £70 million on Higuain, they're doing it knowing that there's money coming into the club. And I firmly believe that. And I think it's another indicator. I think the situation we're at, I must just add some of the stuff that's going out there. I know a lot of you are on Twitter. There's somebody, I'm not going to name names anymore because it's ridiculous, but there's somebody who fronts themselves as an agent. And I think if you put if you either search Pogba or hashtag MUFC, they feature quite highly saying that Pogba's going to sign. 2 weeks ago, they were saying he wasn't going to sign. This person's not even an agent. He's not an agent. He's not a journalist. He's got about 7,000 followers now. There are so many bullshit fraud accounts out on Twitter. People have been saying he was going to sign tonight. People are saying he's going to sign tomorrow. I tell you what, I think he's going to sign. I can't give you the exact minute when he's going to sign. I've been quite consistent with the fact that he will sign for Manchester United. And if he doesn't, I'll be absolutely gutted. And the reason is, I don't stray from a lot of what has been said a week and a half ago by Damarcio and others, that I think Manchester United, especially because of their dealings with Raiola, they've sorted out the deal. They've offered him the money. They've told him what they'll pay him. They've told the agent what you'll get. And I think Pogba and his agents are like, right, okay, let's see what Juventus say. And I think what's going on at the moment is a deal between Manchester United and Juventus and whether they can agree that deal, which we think will be around £100 million. Pogba in the moment, I've heard he's in Miami. He's gone from LA to Miami for a holiday. But people are like, oh, meltdown about that. And he's on holiday. He's just been on the Euros. We could sign him in America. He could come back within a day. I mean, he's not going to say if he's about to, if the world transfer record's about to be broken, and Juventus agree with it tomorrow lunchtime. They're not going to phone Pogba up and he's going to go, you know what, I'm actually sunning it up on the beach reading the latest Dan Brown. I'll be back in a couple of weeks. He's going to be on a plane to Manchester. He's going to sign. It's the world transfer record being broken. It will happen. It's just how long it's going to take. Raiola, his agent, has said today, the most telling thing of today about the Pogba thing is that he wants it resolved by the end of July. It's a big intake of breath for me and every Manchester United fan who wants him to sign, because we start thinking straight away, shit, that's 2 weeks away. Anything can happen in that. Real Madrid could pop forward. What I would say about that is there's a reason Manchester United are at the top of the queue here, and it's nothing to do with Champions League football or anything like that. I keep saying it. It's because we're offering £100 million for a player who everybody knows is worth 60 to 70. We are offering nearly 50% on top of that because we've got to pay that premium to be at the front of the queue. Madrid are not going to pay £100 million for him because why would they break the world transfer record? Why would they surpass Bale, even Ronaldo's fee before that, for a player who isn't on that level? We're doing it because we need to do it, because it's a statement. We've got a new manager who wants a certain player. We want to win the league. We want to be back in the Champions League. We've got to pay way over, and I applaud the club for doing that. I don't think Real Madrid are going to nip in and take him. I think we're going to get him, and I just think it's going to take time. But I accept it is nervy. It is a very nervy time, and we'll just have to wait and see. But 2 weeks does seem like quite a long time, doesn't it? Your link on Twitter not working, says Gregor Mahue. It was when I checked it, mate, but I can't go and check it now because we are live and there's a lot of you watching, and my responsibility, as always, is to you, the viewers. So, yeah, I think Pogba's going to happen. Let's see what some of you lot think. I was rambling on them, but I wanted to get it all out. Matuidi to United, says Junaid. We'll have to wait and see about that. Sort of fits in with Kante, which is what Madcar is saying there, 0-1. I want him to sign, obviously, but I'm not getting too excited, says Lee Polton. I agree with that. I think that's quite a sensible way to be. Joe Marsland can't wait for tomorrow. I can't wait for tomorrow. We'll talk about that a bit later. I hope you're all going to join me at 1 o'clock for the watch along. I'm so excited about that. But yeah, I think we've got to take it a step at a time. It's annoying that it might take 2 weeks, but I think it's going to happen. And I think the club are dealing with that the way it's going to happen. I mean, Gavlad there, 10 out of 10, it's going to happen. Otis thinks we might even get a Pogba deal with Mata. I do want to touch on Kante, not Conte. That's the manager of Chelsea, not the Leicester midfielder. I mean, I suppose the Kante deal. What I've taken from that is, and there was somebody tweeted me before. I must just give it a mention as well. There was I don't know whether they just commented there. Actually, let me just check. Yeah, I know what he said. He said, every Premier League club this season has been given £100 million, which effectively they have done because of this new TV deal. No other club in Europe's getting it. It's only the Premier League because we've got the best TV deal. So if we're going to spend our £100 million on getting Pogba, we've not lost out anyway, which I thought was quite a good point to make. Sunup says is Memphis leaving? Not as far as I'm aware. And there was a question mark there next to James Rodriguez. Yeah, he's going to go somewhere, but it's all gone a bit quiet at the moment. I suppose people are all on holiday, aren't they? But Kante is an interesting deal, and I think in a way, when you look at it, it's quite a good deal for Manchester United because you've got Kante, one of the best players in the Premier League last year, helped Leicester win the title. They're in the Champions League. He's going to leave a Champions League club to go and play for Chelsea, and it just shows you that status doesn't matter if you're in the Champions League, really. Status stands for a lot because Chelsea are obviously a bigger club than Leicester. They're not a very big club, Chelsea. I mean, their attendances are pitiful. They bought their success, but they are a bigger club than Leicester. And he's going to leave Champions League in a dream season, being in the Champions League, to go and play for Chelsea, which says a lot. And I suppose in a way that's a bit like Pogba, isn't it? He's going to leave Juventus, who've got Champions League, to come to Manchester United because we are a bigger club in a better league. And I respect Juventus, but there we go. As for this whole Kante is going to be the signing of the summer, I said it on Facebook Live. I'm giving it a little plug there. I am doing the Facebook Live things as well. So get on Facebook and like the account there because we're trying to grow on Facebook as well. He's not the signing of the summer. I'm baffled that there's been so many Manchester United fans on Twitter today moaning about us missing out on Kante, who we clearly never were in for. There was an Arsenal fan who said Manchester United fans moaning about Chelsea overpaying 29 million for Kante when they're paying 100 million pounds for Pogba. I haven't seen one Manchester United fan say that Chelsea are overpaying for Kante at 29 million. I think he's well worth 29 million. He's 25? He's Premier League proven. He's exactly what you'd want in your midfield. I think 29 million pounds is a fantastic deal for Chelsea. I'm only surprised more people haven't gone for him. But I'm not going to cry about us not going for him. If we'd signed him, I would have been happy. If we don't sign him, I do like the look of Matuidi. He's going to be 10 million pounds cheaper, and I think he's as good or better. Alternatively, Schneiderlin, you can say that Kante was the best midfielder in Premier League last year. The 2 seasons before we bought Schneiderlin, he was the best midfielder, arguably, in the Premier League. And I want to see what Mourinho can get out of him. But as for Kante being the best signing of the summer, if he goes to Chelsea for 30 million or 29 million, it's a big fat no. It isn't. The signing of the summer is Zlatan, and I'll keep saying it until people understand this. Whether you're a United fan or a Chelsea fan or an Arsenal fan or whatever, Zlatan Ibrahimovic is the most epic, legendary signing in Premier League history, and you're about to see why. He's an absolute enigma. He's top quality. He's going to destroy this league, and he's going to be an absolute pleasure in a Manchester United shirt. And we've got him for free. He is the signing of the summer, and it baffles me that anybody else would think anything other than that. I think he's going to be, I'm certain he's going to be a legend at Manchester United, and he may only be here a season, but I have no doubts. This man is the real deal. He is the real deal. He's the signing of the summer, and I've said my bit there. We need Manolas, says Kieran Gibbons. I don't know the latest on that, but we'll have to wait and see. Jacko plays. United are closer to reaching an agreement with Juventus and expect a deal to be completed over the weekend, being reported on Sky Sports. Don't know whether that's true or not, but if it is true, great. Mark, do you have any idea why Pereira isn't in the squad for tomorrow, says Palash. I'm gutted. I'm really gutted. And it's almost as if this is the way the United stand works now. I'm interacting with the live comments, and it's almost as if we're telepathic, because that comment there has led me into my next bit absolutely perfectly. My next point is Phil Jones. There's something from The Guardian, who are quite respected if you're not from the UK. They're not bad when it comes to it. You know, you've got The Sun and the Daily Star right down here with the Mirror, and it gets better. Mail slightly above, and then it gets slightly better. You get Telegraph, Guardian, Times, people like that. So not too bad. Their headline's rubbish. It doesn't get any better than this, I'm afraid. Phil Jones is the number one centre-back with Smalling, according to The Guardian, for Mourinho. Baffled, absolutely baffled. I called him an oxygen waster last night. I said he's taking up spaces for people who should be part of the squad. Borthwick Jackson should be part of the squad tomorrow. Pereira should be part of the squad. If they're not going to play tomorrow, they've got no chance on any of the other pre-season games, because all the Euros players are going to come back, of which there's about 10, isn't there? So they're all going to be back. So what chance has Pereira and Borthwick Jackson got of a game if they can't even get into the squad tomorrow when loads of people are missing? I'm really gutted by it, but we'll just have to wait and see. As I said last night, I think if Arsenal or Chelsea get Manolas, I'm not going to back down and say never wanted him anyway. I will say he's a very good signing, even though he's gone to 2 clubs I can't stand. And if Pereira ends up never getting a chance at Manchester United, I will watch his career with interest, because I think he will be a good player. I've always rated him. Phil Jones is Mr. Glass, says the Guy channel. He is. He's a chocolate teapot. He's as about as useful as a pair of glasses on a bloke with one ear. He's all those funny little analogies. Ahmed loves him. But even if Mourinho turns Phil Jones into the next Baresi, or for the younger lot on you, the next Cannavaro, or for the younger lot on you, the next Poyet, or good centre back, it will let him down with injury. Phil Jones will always be injury prone. I've said it so many times. I'm not going to bore you with why. He will be injury prone. Added to that, I don't rate him. I remember the season before we signed him from Blackburn. We played them towards the end of the season, for anybody old enough, and he put Rooney in his pocket, which actually isn't that hard sometimes. Rooney blows hot and cold. We signed him off the back of that. Sir Alex Ferguson probably came out with his biggest mistake ever from his mouth, apart from let's sign Beppe. He said Phil Jones will be the next Duncan Edwards. He's not the next Duncan Goodhue, as Daniel Poulton said last night. I don't rate him. I think he's Calamity Jones, not just because he gets injured all the time, but because his positional sense and the way he conducts himself on a pitch is just accidents. He's like a big accident. So Why he would think that he can be the centre-back, I don't know. I would revert to Daley Blind, who I don't think is good enough if we want to win the title, but he's better than Phil Jones. That's what I think. Shin splints, Ross Harrington. Shin splints is easy injury to recover and is not long-term. It's a muscle injury due to having overpowered calves. Ross Harrington, I had shin splints when I was 16. I'm a good footballer. We had a very, very bad winter when I was 16, and I was playing for a Saturday team, a Sunday team, and my school team. We ended up with a massive season backlog because of wet pitches around the summer. I was nearly playing every game. After 6 weeks, I broke down because every time I started sprinting, my left shin was like I'd broken it. I hadn't broken it with shin splints. Trust me, you never get over it. You have to really manage it. When I was playing again through my 20s, I could never play twice a week. It was always Saturday, and that was it. Because if you overplay on shin splints, they come back. They never leave you. But also, the downside is if your body starts to overcompensate because of that injury, that's when you get muscle injuries. It's like somebody, if they do their left knee, will start to get problems with their right knee because you overcompensate. It's simple physics. So yeah, I would argue with that. You don't recover from shin splints if it's a bad case, which is what he has essentially had. But even beyond that, he does suffer from a lot of injuries. I just don't think he's good enough. And as Matty Rice says, sell Jones and Rojo and buy Manolas. Where is thy Zara, says Film Fat Boy. She's back on Sunday night. She's sorting her internet out. She is back on Sunday night for the Sunday night show at 9 o'clock. Let's move on to something else. Fellaini. Now, I don't think there's anything in this because the sum offered was ridiculous. But Leroy Gilbert would rather have Stephen Hawkins than Phil Jones. If you know who he is, that's Liam Mills. Shin splints did me in too. I know you can get varying biology, not physics, sex camps in hindsight. Yeah, you're right. But I know you can get varying different injuries, but shin splints is not a good thing to have. In fact, I remember Liverpool had a good right back many years ago called Rob Jones. It finished him. Jones. Could be history repeating himself. Here we go with the tree, says James Kidman. Here we go with the tree. Linked to a move to Middlesbrough. I think it's a load of rubbish because one, I don't think I'll get that lucky, and two, the price quoted was $3 million. I'd sell him for a packet of crisps. But as I said on Facebook earlier, I've sent my email to Middlesbrough and it goes something like this. I've read that you're interested in Marouane Fellaini. I don't know whether it's true or not, but please, please, please consider this offer. Don't worry about flights up to Middlesbrough for medicals, taxis from the airport or hotels. The United Stand will foot the bill. Get him up there, sign him. We're ecstatic. Obviously, I don't think he's going to go, but I'd love it. I'd love him to go. Stephen Kennedy raises a very good question. Fellaini or Jones? I throw it to you while I think very quickly about this because it's an instant answer. Fellaini. I don't dislike Phil Jones. I just don't think that comment about him being our first choice centre-back is absurd, absolutely absurd. We won't win things with Phil Jones as a centre-back. We won't. And if I'm wrong, I'll come on and say I'm wrong, but I'm not normally that wrong, as are not a lot of you lot. But I would get rid of Fellaini tomorrow. There's not many. I don't think there's anybody in the Manchester United squad I'd get rid of before Fellaini. Don't know what you lot think. I'll throw that to you while I ramble on a bit. A tree is more useful than the tree, says Varron. I'd agree with that. Why Fellaini? Do you think Valencia will leave, says Jamie O'Hara. O'Hare. I think we talked about it the other day, didn't we? We've got to cut a few. Matt Lee says, is that a United Stand polo shirt? It is. They will be available soon. I'm just sourcing how we can get them because let me just say it cost me 25 quid to get this. And I think that's a lot of money, but it is very good quality. And if you lot are willing to pay, because you've got to put postage and package on it, if you lot are willing to pay like 30 quid, I can sell them. But do you want to pay 30 quid? I mean, they are good quality polos. I mean, I like Lacoste and Ralph Lauren and all that. You know, I wouldn't wear rubbish, and it is a good quality, but I'm trying to drive the price down. That may mean a lesser quality shirt, but it's going to take me a few weeks to do that. But T-shirts will be available soon. Just crossed my legs and caught my balls. If there's any ladies watching, childbirth is nothing compared to that. It really gets you. What time is the game tomorrow, says Mad Kid. It's at I'm talking properly now. It's at 1:30. So we will be the watch along. The way that'll work, I'm going to start taking some of your questions in a minute. The watch along tomorrow. If you've never watched a watch along, join us tomorrow. Basically, what happens? It's not like this. I'll do it with the green screen. We split the screen. So when my hand is there, you've got your live comments there. Your lot can actually see yourselves on video. I'll have a guest just above there in a video, in a little screen. Along the bottom, we've got the timer for the match. So as soon as it kicks off, I hit the timer. So obviously there's about a 20-second or 10-second delay with a live stream. So you can pause however you're watching the match, whether it's MUTV or anything like that, pause it for 10 seconds to sink in with us. And then we go. You watch it how you watch it. We watch it how we watch it. But you've got your YouTube, watch along with us, and we all just talk about the game as it goes on. And it was very successful last year, and it was very good. And I tell you what, I'm gonna be very honest, because I always am. When we did I'll let you into a little secret. We started the watch-alongs about a month before the end of the season last year. People always said, you never celebrated that much, Mark. I'm going to be honest with you now. I didn't really enjoy watching Manchester United last season. I didn't enjoy watching Manchester United last season. I'll admit it. I hated it. I hated Louis van Gaal. I hated what he did to our club. And there was a massive part of me that every time we were winning was thinking, is he going to stay? Because I knew we had to get rid of him in the summer. So I didn't enjoy watching Manchester United last summer. You'll see a totally different watch-along this year. I'm 100% out behind the manager, 100% out behind the team, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it, and I can't wait. And you will see proper celebrations, and you will see proper passion this year, because I'm excited. Last year, I wasn't. I love the club. I support the club, but it was hard last year, because if you really cared about the club, you knew Van Gaal had to go, and it was that catch-22. So I've said them a bit there. Right, we've done Pogba, we've done Phil Jones, we've done Fellaini, we've done this Kante signing of the season crap. It's Friday night. You've got about 10 to 15 minutes. Fire your questions in. It's the Friday night Q&A right at the end. Let's go for it. And what also I want to know as well, I had put this down. It is, we hit 30,000 subscribers last night. Well done to everybody if you weren't part of the show. Carrick fan says, I was like you last season. I was bored when I was watching United. Yeah, I think a lot of us were. And we've got to, you're not a fan. You're not a fan because you say that. So ask me some questions, but also what I want, it is your channel. I want to know what you think works. I want to know what sort of things you'd like us to do more of. I've got a pen and paper. And I also want to know what other thing, we're branching into Facebook. We want the Manchester United stand to be the voice of United fans, like fan opinion. We want it to get loud. The problem that media has at the moment, BBC, these journalists who piss us off on Twitter with their arrogance, writing crap, is that 20 years ago, that was it. They dictated to us, whether it was TV, paper, or anything. The great thing about Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, is that United fan accounts, like the United Stands, even the likes of Carrick fan, he's got a lot of followers as well, and there's other of you on there. They're getting a voice, and they're getting bid. And these media companies, they aren't having they can't dictate anymore. And the way the United Stand's going, and others, what we want is we want to get bigger and bigger. We want the club to look at the United Stand and go, look at how many people are involved in that. Look at how many people are passionate. Look at what they're saying as fans. We want the club to be looking at what you lot are saying. So how do we get bigger? We've started on Facebook. I don't like Facebook. I've never done Facebook, but we started on it and it's going well. What other ideas do you think would be good for the United Stand? And also throw me any questions as well. Jamie O'Hara, do you think Memphis will be the number 7 for the future? Very good question, Jamie. Everybody else, give us your thoughts, obviously. I don't think he deserves the number 7, but I can't wait to see him tomorrow. It's like Memphis is a new signing to me. He's like Schneiderlin, Herrera, and Shaw because of his injury. They're like new signings. We never saw the real player last year. Memphis was superb in Holland, and he can do it. We saw glimpses. I want him to do it again. There's a train of thought. Give him the number 7 and let him prove he's a number 7. I'm not convinced he'll hold on to the number 7, but will that knock his confidence? Maybe he will. I'm not sure. If it was down to me, I probably would let him have it. Because I wouldn't want it to knock his confidence. Kante or Matuidi, says Paul 12. Well, I'm going to go with Matuidi because Kante's obviously going to Chelsea. Do you think Luke Shaw's injury would make him injury prone, Red Devil? No, I don't think it will, because that's a break. It's a break. It's not shin splints. It's not cartilage or anything like that. It's a break. Hopefully it was a clean break. It looked pretty gruesome and clean. He should be able to come and do that. Nathan, can you do vlogs? I think, yeah, that's what we are doing really, isn't it? The Facebook thing is a bit like a vlog. Let me just say, it's me holding the phone up for about 10 minutes on Facebook. There's a live comment section. We're doing it around 6 o'clock every night. And that's quite like a vlog. So I am planning on, I'm not telling you what I've got planned because that's a big announcement in a couple of weeks. Martin Morgan on about Herrera and Depay. We will win the Europa League, says Jake Bull. Personally, I wouldn't go for the Europa League. Everybody who's been doing well in the Europa League in the back half of the season messes up in the league, and that's been for the last 5 years. So I don't want us to mess up the league. Any chance of making weekly downloadable podcasts? Brian McGivney. Podcasts are a good idea. I want to get more of you lot involved, because podcasts you can have a lot of people on, but I'm not running the podcast. I'll be blatantly honest with you. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, which a few of us do, takes up a lot of time when you've got a day job as well. To go and start doing a podcast, I can't do it. Drawty Devil, Paul, Joey started a podcast. I think it will be back. Let's see. I would be happy to guest on it every now and again, but I won't run it. So we want to get more people involved. If they wanted to set up a podcast under the United Stand name and do it weekly, we'll definitely do it. So United Stand's not an exclusive club. You've got to have talent, he says. You've got to be passionate and you've got to be committed, but it's not a closed shop. So if anybody has any ideas, you can always get in contact with me. My email address is markgoldbridge@gmail.com. So if you've got ideas, you want to get involved, you want to write on the website, people mention things like Instagram, Snapchat. If you want to set one up, just email us. You set it up. You can use images under the United Stand. And what I always say as well is, if you want to get into this area, if you're young, if you're at university, or you want to build a CV in this area, what a great way to do it. That's what Zara does. She's come into it not late, but she came into it around the middle of last season. She wants a career in this. She's going to be a fantastic journalist in the future. She's got it on her CV now that she's worked with a YouTube channel that's gone from nothing, independent, with no backing, to 30,000 subscribers, interactive with the fans. So there's lots of opportunities. We don't do Snapchat. I don't know what it is. We don't do Instagram. I don't know what it is. We don't do Vines. I haven't got the time either. So if people want to do that, drop us an email. Ashkin, do I have a season ticket? I used to, up until I started the United Stand. This is an old argument that you don't go to games. If you've watched the United Stand for a long time, I'm quite open about it. I don't go to games. I used to go to games. When you do the United Stand and you do what you see tomorrow with the watch along, and also I do the instant match reactions, like instant, as soon as the final whistle goes, there's a live stream on the United Stand giving instant reaction, which I think, and a lot of you seem to like. You seem to enjoy it, and you get instant reaction. Sometimes I get it wrong, sometimes I don't, but it's always passionate. You can't go to games and then do that. United Stand's a commitment, and so far it's proved right. You won as the best new vlog last year at the Football Blogging Awards. We've got 30,000 subscribers, we've got a lot of followers on Twitter. It's going really well, and it's important because fan opinion has been neglected for so long. There's a lot of fan channels out there. For instance, fan channels, and they're owned by media companies. For me, that's not what fan channels are. Fan channel is something like this, and there are a couple of others where it's fans sat talking to you and doing it in their own time, and will say what they think, because they're not playing for likes. They don't want the club to ring them up and say, "Oh, come on and interview Herrera," or anything like that. It'd be great to do that, but if you do that, you're only going to have set questions. We do it because if I think Phil Jones is crap, even though he plays for Manchester United, I'll say it. That's what it's down today, and this is spot on. United Stand is meant to make you feel like you would down the pub with your mates, or on the bus or wherever if you don't drink. And I think we replicate that quite well because of how you lot get involved. And it's brilliant. Red Devil Supremacy, will Kevin bring back the van cam? He will do. It's a shame he didn't do it for the preview, because it would have been good, but I think he's more thinking about the Premier League. They will be back for people who like that. I know it's a bit of a cult thing on the United Stand, so it will be back. Mark, you visit Birmingham yesterday, and Pereira will go on loan next season. Jacques, I was in Birmingham yesterday. What about Andre Gomez? Somebody said, who's more important, Pogba or Martial? Well, Martial at the moment, because we haven't got Pogba. Mark, who's your favourite player of all time? Says Leroy Gilbert. Never saw him play, but Duncan Edwards. But my granddad was a massive Manchester United fan. Loved Duncan Edwards. I've been to the grave in Dudley. If you're ever in the UK or you live in the UK, I'd suggest you go there. And if you ever do, again, drop me an email and I'll give you directions to where it is. Very humbling thing. I've got loads of books on him. Just an amazing player. But my favourite player that I've witnessed of all time is Roy Keane. I'm from Nottingham. I was very lucky that my dad's actually a Chelsea fan, but mum and dad separated when I was about 9, and you go to your dad's at the weekend, and you knew I liked football, so he used to take me to watch Forest. We used to go home and away to a lot of games, and I went to watch Forest Liverpool on a midweek night, and Roy Keane made his debut. Roy Keane was a brilliant player for Forest. And when he obviously went to Manchester United, it was a dream come true because I always supported United. Love Roy Keane. Roy Keane epitomises probably what I'm like in real life. Passionate, sometimes go over the top, sometimes say things I wish I hadn't said, but it's always backed up with passion and defending what I believe in. And also he's a fantastic player. So good question there. All-time Man United 11 mark, says George Kyle. Take me a while to do that. Will Shaw be the same again, says Martin McKee. I think we're all worried about that, but we'll just have to see. Cole K, Keno legend. Mark, Riyad Mahrez to Manchester United, question mark. We do. I'd like us to sign another right-sided midfielder as a backup to sort of Mkhitaryan. And I like Lozano, the Mexican, but we'll have to wait and see. I wouldn't say no to Mahrez. Why would we? I think it's an interesting season for him, though, but he is Premier League proven, so I wouldn't say no. John Gaffney, the ultimate question, Roy Keane or Sir Alex? You can't answer it. Suffice to say, I don't think it's nice. I don't think it's great the way the club's treated Keane. The class of 92 get a lot of credit. Cantona, even Van Nistelrooy gets a lot of credit. Keane was for Sir Alex Ferguson on the pitch, for those who saw it. A lot of people say that his performance in the 99 against Juventus, was it the quarter-final or the semi-final? I think it was the semi-final, was his best ever performance. He was absolutely superb in the FA Cup final of 96, which was a crap game, but Keane just bossed the midfield. Roy Keane just deserves a lot more credit than he gets. He's an absolute legend. He's won the most titles, more than anybody in British football history. I love Roy Keane. You can't judge a player for what they're like off the pitch. I know he says stupid things, but you'd be amazed how many of your footballing heroes are complete dickheads in real life. And trust me, I've met a few. I'm not going to name names, but a lot of footballers are complete twats. They're so up their own arse because they've lived in a bubble since the age of 15 and they get paid ridiculous amounts of money. So Roy Keane shouldn't be judged because he's a bit moody and controversial. But on the pitch, superb. 1 minute videos wants to cut Fellaini's hair. Will they wear the new kit tomorrow, says Kian? I don't think they will. They might wear the blue one, but we can wear blue and white. We're not going to release the red one till August, I don't think, although you can quite easily see it on Twitter if you want to. Will the game be live on Saturday, Adele Butt? It will be live because I'll be watching it on MUTV. I don't know how you lot will be watching it. I'm sure there are ways of watching it, but watch along with us. We can't show the game live and we'll get shut down, and you don't want that, but we can talk about the game watching it off screen. So find a way to watch it, mute the crap commentary because MUTV commentary is crap, and mute it, sync in with us, watch it with us. July the 23rd is the restart for the home kit, says Barclays Premiership. Fantasy League, says Matty Ray. I did check that today. Apparently it's out the week commencing the 18th. So one day next week, the Fantasy Premier League will be coming out and we'll be doing the United Stand one. Hotel football, Gary Neville's hotel, right opposite Manchester United. They've already offered up a prize, which is a hospitality room and meal before a game next season. So do enter that, be great. Prediction for tomorrow, says Mango Time. I don't know. You never know with a pre-season game. What I want to see is I don't care if we concede 2 or 3 goals. I want to see us score 4 or 5. I think that's what we need as Manchester United fans, is a boost. We need to score some goals. But I think the exciting thing is this is a Mourinho team. It's not like he's been given the job yesterday and Nicky Butt's in charge and he's watching over. He's been training them since a week and a half. So, and Carrick says he loves it. Comedy High TV just says full-time Devils. Don't know what he's on about with that. I hate the dab. Any idea when the squad numbers will be released, Owen? I don't. I suppose we might get a bit of a hint tomorrow. Really makes my day watching this channel, Best United channel. Just wanted to say that, says Hafizar. Thank you. It's nothing without you lot, especially these sort of shows. Pogba coming, says James O'Mahony. What's the opinion? I think he will do. Score prediction, V. Wigan, says Nick. Okay, I'll give you a score prediction. I'm going to say 4-1 United. Do you think Mata will stay, says Young AR? A lot of you saying dab. I think Mata will stay, yeah. I did say that a few weeks ago. I just got a funny feeling you will. I'm not dabbing until Fellaini goes, and also I need to practice it. James Rodriguez again, no one special. Mark, what do you think of Kimmich from Bayern? It'd be decent. I'll be happy with any good centre-back, to be honest. My favourite United player, Brian Robson, says Lynn Hall. Very good call. I didn't see loads of him in his prime because of my age, but I did see bits, and he was very good. Ilya Satar says, you suck. Can't win them all. Mark Matter, number 10. Mark, what kind of football do you expect we will play tomorrow? Says Kunal again. I don't know. I think that's the interesting thing. I think he'll let we'll have one up front, 3 behind. He'll let them express themselves, and that's good. And D. McKeegan says, another top show. Do please like the video. Thanks everybody for watching. I'd like doing the Friday because I like that last 10 minutes where we just take some of your questions. Sorry if I didn't get hold of them, but there's so many of you commenting as per usual. You're fantastic. I applaud you all. This is what the United Stand's all about. We grow through word of mouth organically. So just tell everybody about us. Keep getting involved. It's great. Plans for the weekend, somebody said. Tomorrow, obviously, 1 o'clock, we will be live on air with a stream, which I'll put up in the morning so you can start commenting on the live comments before we go live if you like that sort of thing. I know some of you do, but we'll be live at 1 o'clock. Kick off at 11:30. We're going to be on air for about 3 hours because we'll be live all the way through the game, giving our thoughts. And Sunday morning, I will be doing the Sunday papers again, reaction, transfer news, around 10:30, live stream for that. And then Sunday night is back, 9 o'clock. No more Euros to mess it up. So every Sunday night now, Sunday Night Live, which is the flagship show for the United Stand, we're back at 9 o'clock. Zara's confirmed, and I need to get a couple more guests on. And we might do tomorrow night at around a little bit after the match. I think Alex wants to come on. We might just do a little 10-minute debrief on the match as well for those of you who are out at the pub or anything like that. So we'll probably have a couple of streams tomorrow, but join us tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I can't wait for the watch along. I know a lot of you won't have watched it before. Just give it a chance and get involved. It's really good. Thanks everyone for watching. Big shout out for all you lot. Do drop us a like. So much of this show is about you, so you're only liking yourself. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Cannot believe Manchester United are playing tomorrow. Puts a massive smile on my face. Really excited by it. The summer's just gone like that, and it's great because we've got Mourinho now, and we wanted that, and got the whole season ahead of us. Can't wait. Bring them on. Bring on the preseason. Bring on the games. I really enjoy preseason games. I loved the US tour last night. I did watch it last night. Last year. I know some people don't like preseason, but I do because I like tactics. I like looking at the shapes of teams. I like looking at players and thinking, you know what, which is why I was so disappointed. Pereira was the standout player last year, and he never used him after that. I think Mourinho hopefully will be a bit different, but speak to you all tomorrow. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great Friday evening if you're watching on Friday evening, and I'll see you tomorrow for the watch along. Can't wait. Speak to you later.